I eat plant-based. Yes, I do. I eat plant-based. How about you? Ah! What are y'all doing? I am just being silly. Can you tell? Okay. I made this soup last night. The chickpea pasta soup, and it is absolutely awesome. My kids liked the pasta, the broth, and the chickpeas, and hubby and I liked all the rest. Totally awesome, quick to make. I wish I could claim the recipe to be my own, but I actually got it out of the December 2013 issue of Vegetarian Times. Oh, there it is. It's right on the front. So good. Now, mine didn't quite turn out to look just like this, but it tastes great. Okay, get out your pen and paper. We are gonna make chickpea soup. Yeah! I know, this is not like me, is it? But it could be like me all the time. Just think of it. Me bouncing all around, and you could be bouncing with me. You could be having chickpea and pasta soup with me, and you could put your hair up and ponytails, and you can have all this energy. Ah! It's so awesome to eat plant-based. All right, you ready? You got your pen and paper? Because I was just killing time until you got your pen and paper. All right, let's go. Okay, what you need to start off with is 1 medium onion, 3 sprigs of fresh rosemary. Yes, I got this from the garden. And 2 large cloves of garlic. Then the magazine called for 3 plum or Roma tomatoes, seeded and chopped up, enough to make 2 cups. But I didn't have fresh tomatoes, but I did, so I just got out my diced canned tomatoes here, and I just drained those off and pulled out 2 cups out of that. Okay, and then the next thing is 1 15-ounce can of chickpeas, rinsed and drained, or 1½ cups of cooked chickpeas. And I just happened to, I went ahead and cooked the chickpeas at lunch, and so they were ready. I cooked the chickpeas in the pressure cooker, and I've got a video for that. And then I just set aside 1½ cups. And I'll just go ahead and tell you right now, I end up adding an extra cup of chickpeas to this soup. I really liked having lots of chickpeas. All right, moving on. Okay, and then recipe says 4 cups low sodium vegetable broth. And I kind of went off the reservation here, and I thought it would taste better to do 4 cups of water with 1 teaspoon of the better bouillon vegetable broth and 1 teaspoon of the no chicken broth. Next, 1/2 cup of this ditalini, how do you say that? I don't know how to say that. Okay. Where am I? You need about, well, it calls for 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped basil or parsley for garnish. I didn't have that, but I did have my dried spicy basil, so I ended up getting that out. And then we need some, and it calls for Parmesan cheese, but I don't have that either. I end up using nutritional yeast, which is in here somewhere. I don't know where. Let me see. What is this picture of? Is this it? No, this is my cooking. Okay, so what you do, all right, so in a big Dutch oven, get it heated up over medium or medium-high heat, and you're going to cook that chopped medium onion, in just enough water to cover the bottom of the pan. And then go ahead and put in those 3 sprigs of rosemary. And I just left them right there on the stem, because later I learned that those little leaflets will just fall right off the stems, and you can pick the stems out later. So cook the onion until it's translucent, which is going to take, somewhere to 8 to 10 minutes. Wait till it's totally soft. Meanwhile, in a small to medium bowl, get your chickpeas and partially mash those. So you want like half of them to be mashed and half to be whole. And the mashed chickpeas are going to add a creamy texture to the soup. Okay. And then there's my nooch sitting on the side. Okay. And then I got that out. Okay. Now, so this is what my the onions look like, translucent. I made sure that they were really soft and tender. And then you add in the 2 garlic cloves that have been finely minced, and put those in there and saute those for about 30 seconds. Okay, and then add in the 2 cups of tomatoes. Okay, and then stir those around and give those let those heat through for about 3 to 5 minutes. And then in this time, just in this short amount of time, all the little leaflets from the rosemary start falling off. So I just picked out the stems and went on my way. Okay, next, add in the chickpeas. Then pour in the broth and and then turn the heat up so that the broth can come to a boil, because we're going to put the pasta in just a minute. And then earlier I mentioned you can use the recipe called for the fresh parsley or basil to be used as a garnish. I wanted to go ahead and have that flavor there in my soup, so I added 1 teaspoon of dried spicy basil to the broth at this point, and went ahead and seasoned the sauce. Seasoned the soup with I think I probably added 1 teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of fresh ground pepper. Okay, got that all stirred in. And then once this water started coming to a boil, I sprinkled in the pasta and gave it a good stir, and I let that cook. Now that pasta, it says to cook it 1 to 3 minutes less than the instructions say, because the pasta will continue to cook in the soup. So you don't want the soup to you don't want the pasta to fall apart in the soup. So I let it boil for about 8 minutes in the pasta before I served it. And it came out looking like this. Boy, the pasta just plumps right up and you're ready to go. Oh, so good. So here's what it looks like in the bowl. Absolutely delicious. You want a bite? Oh, man, that's some good stuff. And this soup serves 6. And I'll tell you, go ahead and make it this way the first time. But the next time, you're going to figure it out like I did last night. You're going to want to double this recipe. It is absolutely awesome. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Okay, and look, there's Maggie, my picky eater. She loved it. Now, she didn't dig the tomatoes and the onions, but she really went after the broth, the pasta, and the chickpeas. And so did my son. They just loved it. All right, so there you are. Okay, so chickpea pasta soup. Super easy to throw together, and I don't know, it took me less than 30 minutes to get it going, and we could serve it up. So, all right, so y'all go try this, because we got a nice cool weekend coming up, and this is a perfect soup to enjoy while we stay snuggled up on the couch and watch our favorite shows, and maybe get ready for the holidays. I don't know, just whatever you would like to do. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna let you go. You have fun and have go team. Woo! Eat healthy. Wait, where's it go? There it is.